So I thought we are in meditation. This is part of our meditation. It's Monday. We have a lot of work to do today, so please don't bitch about everything every step of the way and just do it with me. Yes, John. I love you. I love you too. We're back on talking about this morning's interference or intervention or whatever you want to call it with Mayo head over there, Hellman's face, right? The one thing that Mean Mr. Mayo of the station, the YouTube channel Mean Mr. Mayo, you almost called him a fathead. I think we should stop with the name calling. Yeah. Yeah, I'm terrible like that. Yeah. He's got a big fat head, though. And he seems awfully proud of it. Well, he likes mayo. Mayo will do that to somebody, especially if it's not the vegan variety. But let's get on to the point. We said John is here right now. And if you're not sure what conversation we're talking about, check the 2 previous videos to this one about mayo. And I said, okay, well, John is here right now. So ask him anything you want. And we'll answer, you'll get an answer. And perhaps then it will clarify, that you are indeed speaking to John. And the only question this Mean Mr. Mayo could think to ask John was, who's going to be elected president next? Could you imagine that if you had access to John Lennon's brain, which I do, if you had access to that amazing instrument that is John's intellect, and you had one question to ask him, that would be your question, Mayo? That's your question. Who's going to be elected the next president? Like, it's some stupid little guessing game that you ask him a question like that. That just goes to show your lack of imagination and lack of any kind of originality in your thinking. But John was kind. He answered the question as only John can. He said, that does not matter. Do you know that? Because it's all one big shit show and nobody's going to win. And it's a mess and the game is over. Meaning it doesn't matter. And it's time you wake up out there and realize it doesn't matter. Well, I could pose an argument. It doesn't matter. What will be, will be. You sound very adamant. There's no way. Lena, I hoped against hope that Trump would not get the re-elect. But look what happened. I didn't predict that he would or wouldn't. I prayed along with you and others like you that he would not get the re-elect. But that didn't make a difference because the majority of human life down here who voted outweighed the majority that did not, etc., and vice versa. However you want to say it. And we have also gone over in the past and ad nauseum that Hitler is indeed the reincarnated energy of Hitler, right? Trump is John's getting overtaxed, and so am I. This has been a very rough morning. Trump is the reincarnated energy of Adolf Hitler. And if you check the birth dates and the death dates, it's like almost a seamless crossover. He jumped right into baby Trump's body when he crossed over Hitler. And he had an option of either like being tossed into a fucking black hole because of the atrocities that he perpetrated as Hitler, or coming down and doing good, making good this time as a world leader. I'm hearing in my head the REM song World Leader Pretend. Yeah. We'll have to check that one out later and relook at the lyrics of World Leader Pretend from REM. Remind me. We have the video. All right. You're right. So anyway, that's the story with Trump. Trump was Hitler. Do you think John wanted Trump to be neither here nor there. you have one question to ask John Lennon, and that was your question. Boy, did you blow it with that stupid question. Stupidest question I've ever heard in my life to ask John Lennon if you have access to ask him anything. And for that reason, John wanted to make this video to say the following. John, if anyone has any questions to ask me, they can do it via our Quora Ascension page. We will post the link herewith. You can come right over to Quora and ask Johnny any question at all that you would ask John Lennon had you access to my brain, which you do, so I am encouraging you to ask away. It's amazing, but not many people do. Some people do. They will ask me, what does John think of this and that, and I'll tell you his taste in music. I'll tell you what movies he likes. I'll tell you about his life with Yoko. I'll tell you about his life with May Pang. I'll tell you anything because he's very forthcoming with me. And whatever we don't have time to answer, we'll send you a blog link because we have documented conversations dating back for decades now, like almost over a decade, yeah. But that's not John's thing. Gee, who's going to be elected? He doesn't care even. He says that politics are such garbage out there. All the people, including God and Mother, if it wasn't so sad, they laugh at the whole idea of politics because of what the world has done and what a farce the political arena has become instead of what it should have been and what it is now. And what there's really no hope in correcting because it's so bastardized and fucked up that it's like the further away you stay from politics, really the better off you are. It'll clutter your brain. It'll confuse you. It'll get you into arguments with people. It's garbage. Garbage. Not discouraging if you want to vote. You should absolutely do that. There is nothing wrong about putting positive vibes out there. If there's a better candidate that you like than whatever sleazeball is doing a bad job, definitely vote for the better candidate. But really, John never voted a day in his life. I voted very briefly before I became disabled. I voted sporadically. Mostly to keep Christopher company. I liked going to the polls with him because Christopher is a religious voter. He votes all the time. Anytime there's an election, he votes. Good for him. Again, not putting it down. And if you're confused about who Christopher is, he's my husband that I'm married to for 25 years or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, Mayo. I'm a human being with a life too, you know? I just happen to be a channel and a spiritualist whose twin flame is John Lennon. You seem to think I'm a piece of garbage that you can just dismiss and call me a Looney Tune. And to me, you're a dangerous person. That makes you a dangerous person. And a bigot. And a closed-minded fool. And that's the story on you, Mayo. But getting back to John, I wanted to hear you say that for yourself because you always sit back and let me tell everybody off, and I like hearing you get like that. Yeah, it's high time, as Michael would say. Michael Penn, isn't it high time? Isn't it high time? Try, yeah. 'Cause I won't try. I don't want to try you anymore. I won't try you anymore. 9! He's saying 9 in that song. That's Michael Penn's song, Try, off of the Resigned album. Listen to the lyrics of that song, Mayo, who you don't know who Michael Penn is. Go over there and listen to him because he is carrying John's spirit in him as he does his music. You should know who Michael Penn is. Your guest knew who Michael Penn is. Michael Penn is married to Amy Mann. They're the closest thing to the Beatles that you're ever going to hear in this lifetime, and you don't know who they are.